Okay, this is going to be the Jabba's tutorial. After the episode 4 reset, you're going to buy Fast Force and enter episode 6. Make sure you have both players dropped in when you enter the level, and you're going to walk over with Leia to the stool and build it as Chewie jumps up and activates the eye on the right. He's going to walk back a couple steps, and then he's going to start jumping and just a couple times to shoot at the eye and start spamming shots. Once the eye is gone, Leia should finish building the stool in the middle and jump on it to hit the remaining two eyes as both Leia and Chewie walk back. They're going to walk back and then shoot forward, spamming shots. Leia will have a bit of an auto dodge, which makes her shooting a little bit slower. Now, depending on the control setup you do, you want to make sure you are doing the optimal menuing. Menuing is pretty important in this game as it can range from 4 seconds to 12 seconds. For the extras menuing, I like to do it with 2 keys on the keyboard. Many people like to do it on a controller. On the controller, you can use the joystick and the D-pad to scroll multiple times at once, and on a keyboard, you can use your down input and the down arrow key to scroll multiple times at once. However, if you are bound to the arrow key on keyboard, you cannot do double keyboard menuing, as it's called. You're going to walk over to the jukebox and build it with whichever player you're going to do the menuing on, and then you are going to walk over to the helmet dispenser with the other player. You will finish building the jukebox and go to the extras menu, turn on exploding blaster bolts and fast force as you drop out. Then you are going to get a helmet with Leia or whoever is over there. Come over to where Luke is. When you see him pull out his lightsaber, call him in, and he should call in on player 2 or 1, depending on which one you got the helmet with. Now, in the case that he does not pull his lightsaber out, just call him in when you're close to him, and you should be fine. Go over to the panel, start building with Leia, and force a Gamorrean just to make sure Leia does not lose her helmet before she can finish building the panel. As you enter the next room, you're going to have Leia shoot in front of her on the right. You can actually shoot this pretty early, as it becomes buildable pretty late. You're going to have Luke build this platform as Leia shoots 3 or 4 shots away just to get rid of the Gamorreans. Make sure Fast Force is on at this point. Force the platform up as Leia is on top of it. She will pull 2 levers, and as soon as the second lever hits the bottom, you can either wait for the camera to start moving or just do it on instinct, but when the lever hits the bottom, you can just drop out Luke, and optionally you can call him back in if you want. That will skip the cutscene and have Leia shoot at this torch here to get rid of this metal barrier. Now, Leia will shoot on the left and right of this gate. However, make sure you do not shoot them at the same time or it will soft lock your game. In the falling crate section, just spam shots with Leia as you are jumping with both Luke and Leia if you have them both called in. That should kill the Gamorreans. And as you enter the droid freeing room, make sure Luke is as far ahead as can possibly be. You're going to head over to the left C-3PO panel first. You're going to double jump onto the C-3PO panel with Luke and double jump off of it down and then to the left to get into the tank where C-3PO is. Switch Leia to C-3PO and go do the jump on the right with Luke on the R2 panel. Once Luke is in the middle of the right box, you will use the panel with C-3PO and switch Luke to R2. Have C-3PO head over to the right to grab a hold of Luke, and I suggest putting R2 on player 1 here and Luke on player 2. You're going to do a couple force pushes up the stairs. Make sure you copy these exact positions for the force pushes, otherwise you will risk putting him into a wall or not getting the optimal distance on your force pushes. As you enter long room, switch player 1 from R2 to Chewbacca, and you're just going to shoot a couple times in front of you to break these cones. Now you're going to push this box with Chewie as Luke jumps up with a buffer jump and to start building the platform. Chewie will jump on this little pixel here to get up and either pull his gun out or keep it away depending on which spiderless setup you plan to use. Now here are the different spiderless setups you can use. You'll see them on your screen. It's really up to you. You can use his foot, you can use his shoulder with the gun out, you can just use his shoulder with the gun in. Sometimes I would even encourage people to find their own setup, but these are the most common visual cues. And what you want to do is you want to stand in this place to precisely line up with the visual cue, jump, and then as you are in the air, force the platform with Luke about halfway and let go of the platform with Luke as it will come back and clip Chewbacca out of bounds. Now this is one of the most precise tricks in the game. Don't expect to always get it first try, but these visual cues should help. Once you've pushed Chewbacca out, try to drop out Luke and walk under the floor, staying as close to the floor as you can with Chewbacca. You want to go to the left here and make sure you're walking under the hallway. If you don't walk under the hallway, you will die out of bounds, which loses around 20 seconds. In the case that you do die, you will respawn in the spiderless position, so you can just go do the trick right again. For Rancor Warp, once you fall into this next room here, stay under the ground and walk past a grate so the camera adjusts and jump up straight into the top of it. So as you enter the Rancor fight, you're going to want to drop player 2 in and swap to C-3PO. And you're going to force push C-3PO, so you can either get 1 long force push, or the more recommended and faster version is 2 medium force pushes off of C-3PO to push him to the panel on the left. When the Gamorrean guard actually gets released, you want to put him around this rock, ideally between these 2 rocks that you're looking at here. But anywhere around this rock is fine. It's kind of like a weird shape, but if you put him in the correct place, you'll get a very, very good cycle. Sometimes you'll get a little bit slower of a cycle on the first one. Now this cycle is actually what makes the biggest difference in how good your Rancor fight is most of the time, provided you do the bottlenecking correctly. You can also get this cycle, which is really, really slow, and you want to avoid that. Just by putting him in the correct position, you probably won't get that. And you want to put C-3PO off to the left while you are choking the Gamorrean, just so you don't accidentally deactivate him. And as soon as he grabs the Gamorrean, you're going to run over to slash the box with Luke while you get another Gamorrean with C-3PO. You're going to grab that Gamorrean. He tends to not really run away, but I would recommend just force choking him down at the bottom to keep him from running anyway. And when you do that, you can move C-3PO all the way over to where R2 is and grab R2, because the third Gamorrean you're going to get from the R2 panel. So you're going to let the Rancor grab the Gamorrean and slash the box as you let the R2 panel dispense another Gamorrean. And as you do this, you're going to start heading over to the left to switch to Han with R2, who will be running up to the top of the screen. One other thing you can do is you can actually build the grapple just to avoid any potential of Luke accidentally building it while he's trying to force choke the Gamorrean, which can happen pretty commonly. And once you do that, you're just going to grab the Gamorrean, bring him over, make sure you put him to the right of this rock on the ground, otherwise the Rancor will get stuck on the rock, and that's going to be a huge time loss. It can take him a really long time. So once you have him over to the right, you're going to run towards the lever where Han will already be on the left lever and Luke will go to the right lever. As you pull the levers, you want to make sure that the Rancor is underneath the grate, because if you pull them too earlier, it's going to lose you around 20 seconds, and you do not want that to happen. So you're going to pull them, and you're going to drop out player 2 for the opening of Carcoon.